Okay, guys, welcome to 1 Million Cups. Thank you all for braving the cold and coming out here. Oh, thank you. We do this event here at the deck every Wednesday morning. Good to see some regulars who are back. Good to see a lot of new folks. Special shout out to Southern Methodist University students who've come out. I think we have a lot of first timers back there. Yeah, let's give them a hand. All right. Yeah, I love to see when we get students coming out to this event and they're able to get exposed to the local startup community. This is a great event to do that, to get plugged in, to meet people, and to ask questions to some real life entrepreneurs who are going to be up here on stage in a minute. So today's presenters are over here to my left on this whiteboard. If you want to follow them on social media, you can also use the 1MCDAL hashtag for today to keep track of what's going on. So yeah, we've got a new coffee sponsor we're really stoked about. DriveAds, DriveAds.com, they're over there. And they've got, you guys who've been coming for a while now, we usually have the Corner Bakery coffee, which is not what we have today. Today we have Ceres coffee, which you should definitely try if you haven't already. We're really excited to have them here at the event this morning. Hopefully they'll be back again, who knows. And yeah, so definitely try that out, make yourselves at home. And a little bit about 1 Million Cups before we bring the presenters on stage. So it's been around for 5 years. Dallas was one of the first cities to start a chapter way back when. And I think we've had this event at the deck, I think over 1,000 times now. So it's been going on for a while. So it's pretty awesome that you're all here and you're all a part of that community. We also do have an app now. So if you get the app, it's a great way to share your feedback with the presenters, connect with other people that are attending the event. And it's pretty awesome. So like I said, today's presenters, first we're going to have Elaine with Cthrough, and then we'll have Cyril with Neu Robotics. And again, these are the sponsors that make the event happen. We'll have DriveAds come up on stage during the sort of intermission to tell you a little bit more about what they do. I think we have Madeline. She'll be coming up later to talk about them. But yeah, without further ado, we'll go ahead and bring our first presenter up on stage. So let's all stand up, give her a big round of applause, and welcome her on stage.
Hi everyone.
Good morning.
We're living in a century that is powered by smart technology, drones, self-driving cars, cashier-free automated stores. All of these are just amazing, but why are we still using this kind of map at our favorite attractions? My name is Ellen. I'm the founder and CEO of Cthrough. We provide augmented reality services to attractions to deliver better visitor experience. This single piece of map costs 30 cents to Dallas Zoo, which has over 1 million annual visitors. So easy calculation, they spend at least $300,000 on this every single year. But the question is, are the visitors happy? We spent half a day at Dallas Zoo and randomly asked 100 people. 36 people said they're having trouble reading this, including myself. Then why are we still using this map? Because we do not have a second option. Google Maps stops at the parking lot. That's why we're here. We provide a digital map to attraction sites, leveraging augmented reality technology. We help the attraction to reduce their costs, have a better understanding of their visitors, and greatly enhance the on-site visiting experience. This is how it works. We are putting a digital layer over the physical site of attractions. Information will be stored on this digital layer for visitors to perceive and to interact with while they are having an on-site visit, thus receiving an immersive exploration experience. Just like this. Not only the basic map feature, many other interactive features can be implemented on this air layer as well, such as air navigation, air treasure hunt, and some other interactive features like AR Mickey Mouse. Our preliminary app, Cthrough, has covered UT Dallas, and we've got nearly 1,000 users so far. We also launched our first interactive feature, Treasure Hunt UTD, and successfully received more than 500 sponsored meals from all the vendors we have approached. Cthrough as a platform will keep adding attractions on our application and provide terrific AR services. To each venue, we will charge a basic setup fee and a monthly recurring service fee. The basic setup includes an AR map and a 2D map, and we charge the attraction 15 cents per user. And we also provide other AR interactive services to the venues based on their needs, and each has a separate price. There are over 30,000 noticeable attractions in the United States. The total annual visits is nearly 2 billion with a growth rate of 3.9% per year. We are targeting the attraction sites where it has the most visitors, such as zoos and amusement parks. We start from Texas and then spread to the rest of the country. As you can see from the screen, we focus on 3 things that will greatly differentiate ourselves from our competitors, and they are all about the experience. So I'm a graduate student at UTD. I have expertise in management, sales, and accounting. My partner, Truthit, is a PhD student who has years of experience in both software and hardware engineering. Both of us have startup experience as before. Our mentor, George Brady, was a founder and chairman of many successful tech companies, including Globe Ranger, which was acquired by Fujitsu in 2014. Regarding to execution, last year we launched our preliminary app, we got our users, we tested our concept, and we also won multiple pitch competitions as well. And we pitched in front of Mr. Guy Kawasaki, and he mentioned our product is a curve jumping product. Right now we're more focused on customer acquisition, getting fundings, and improving our current technology. We're now hosting our service through a mobile application. But as soon as the AR glasses are ready for consumer use, we can take the visitor experience to another level. We're Cthrough. Welcome to the world of augmented reality. Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation. So going into the Q&A, first thing we ask that when you ask your question, please just stand, give us your name before you ask a question, then answer. The first question we have is, what can the community do for you?
Yeah, thank you. So right now we're looking to get as many venues as possible, so we need contacts to speak to the venues. Yeah, so that's urgent.
Sorry, my name is Andrew. How many competitors do you have, and what sort of patent protection?
Yeah, we have been searching online for almost like half a year, and we haven't found anyone who's doing exactly the same thing. However, we do have near competitors. They are the application service companies who build apps for venues, for attraction sites. But they do have, I do have slides on that. Yeah, those are the companies, and those are the applications that provided for the attraction sites. But they do have a drawback. They provide application to any organizations. So their customers are zoos, attractions, but also hospitals, are also like other organizations. And they're not reviewed very, very high also. And comparing with them, our most important element is augmented reality. And we believe at attraction sites, we have the most like experience, the best experience that we can provide. Patents? Yeah, we actually just signed a contract with our patent lawyer, and we're working on that. And hopefully we can get it done in the early February.
What do you see as protecting them?
It's that's something like we can only release after, like we can only talk about it in the public once we submit the application with our lawyer.
Hey Elaine, good job. My name is Michael, and what I think would be, since you're raising capital, right, you're raising 200K, 250,
Yeah.
whatever, I think would be really important is for you to include in here the value proposition to the zoo or an amusement park someplace where we can really break it down and show why those organizations can spend a lot of money with you, and specific metrics around that. Yeah, does that make sense what I'm saying? Just so then you can extrapolate from the value proposition of the zoo, et cetera, those kind of places, extrapolate how it's really compelling. So you've got good points there, but I want to see some numbers and like what the zoo's already told you or your other prospects have told you. So kind of case study in that regard to the extent you can, or explain that you've got some specific metrics from a variety of customers or prospects so that you know you've got really, the return is there for your customer.
Okay, thank you, Michael.
Any other questions?
My name is Daniel. You mentioned that you had 1,000 app users. My question was, what was like the range of time from that it took to get to?
Yeah, that was from late August. We launched our application on August 22nd, and till the end of November. Yeah, because our app only covered UT Dallas, and most of the users are students. What we were trying to do is we would like to get some feedbacks from the users, and that's what we got. And actually, right now we stopped that preliminary app because we are enhancing we're doing improvement right now. Yeah, so that map we haven't maintained it for around like 2 months.
And then I have one more. You mentioned also that you also tested it with the college campus. Were you considering, in addition to attractions, to add in college campuses as a secondary market to go after, or were you looking for the whole duration of your company to stick with just attractions?
Yeah. So right now here is our plan. We would like to get all the attractions first, and the promotion strategies that we're now doing with the vendors, we can introduce it to the attractions so that they can use this kind of tools to drive more on-site sales. And as we put more attractions on our platform and the user base grows, and we may also include some non-paying attractions such as shopping centers. And for those kind of places, we can start approaching to the vendors that are outside of the attractions, but they can do something on our platform as well.
Do you have any paying customers right now? And once you raise your $200,000, what are you going to do with those funds?
Yeah, we have an upcoming meeting with the zoo over the next 10 days. Is under scheduling, and we are planning to get the funding probably in May or by May, and the money will be used to hire more employees. Yeah, we need more developers because right now we only have 2 developers on board and 1 intern. We definitely need more talent on our team to work on this technology.
Any other questions?
This is Sharad Alin's question about just the functionality. So when a person is using this, do they need Wi-Fi connectivity in order to be able to experience the full AR capability?
Yeah, for the AR capability, definitely we need Wi-Fi. But for the basic map feature, we can make it local. So you can use a map, whatever you want. But if you want access to some of the interactive features, that you definitely need Wi-Fi because you need to connect and interact with something in the cloud.
So that's not been an issue so far in your customer conversations, the availability of Wi-Fi?
No, so far not.
Okay, great.
Thank you. My name is Michael. I was curious, kind of going with his question, would you consider using BLE and beacons?
Yeah, beacons are for indoors. So right now, we are dividing our potential customers into two categories. One is outdoor attractions, like zoos, aquariums, and amusement parks. And indoors, such as like museums. Yeah. In museums, this kind of indoor attractions, we use beacons, we use BLE, but outdoors, there is not necessary to use that. But later on, we do consider for precise result.
And then the only other thing is, would you open like an API to offer this to other developers?
Yeah, we are thinking about it. We will definitely, that's an option for us, but not in the near future. Yeah, not in the near future. Maybe after 2 years, we may thinking about API. We're open to that, but yeah, not at this very stage. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Scott, and I'm curious what type of forms of resistance you might face when approaching vendors, because I know you said that you're looking for people that know people that perhaps can introduce them to vendors, so I guess that might be a challenge. So when you do approach them, what are some of the main challenges that you face or resistance that they might have?
Yeah, I think right now the most difficult part for me is I should know which one I should speak to, because I want to speak to the right person. I've also approached to the local vendors, and so far I've got all the positive feedbacks and responses. So I just want to make sure that I can speak to the right person to have the whole thing go through. And before, what I was using was cold emails and cold phone calls, and I was thinking about dropping by to some of the cooperative office, but I didn't even know where the cooperative office is. Yeah, so right now we kind of need some contacts to lead us in front of the right person, so that we can have like more chance.
Do you find it challenging when you get to actually gatekeepers, like the secretary?
That's actually we've already connected with Cthrough, and my introducer, he just sent an email to the CEO directly, and he said he is very interested and he would like to arrange a meeting with us. That's what we're like deciding the times right now. So he didn't even like send a question email at first.
Final question.
Gosh, that's a lot of pressure. My name is Mackenzie, and I am curious if you could talk about the process that it takes to go through and do an amusement park or an aquarium or any of your places, like meeting on the time it takes to go through and fully develop. So just all that is involved, if you can. It's not all, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. So far we're improving our platform. We've already created one for our preliminary app, but it has some flaws that we're fixing right now. So for the first venue, it will take around 3 to 4 months, because that's basically all about creating the platform, make sure everything works perfect, and we want to set up a model for the next one. And starting from the second, third, all the way to the 100, it will be duplication. Yeah, so it will go like really fast. It depends on how fast our designer is, and our programmer can just like duplicate the thing and make some minor changes, and that's it.
Thank you. That was the final question. Thank you for your presentation.
Yeah, thank you everyone.
That was pretty amazing. Yeah, today's like super high tech day up here. And, you guys have been coming for a while, see a wide variety of entrepreneurs that come through this event. So I just want to make that as a reminder to people, if you're thinking about presenting, we really do accept really all types of entrepreneurship in the Metroplex. We've had people starting their own restaurants, to people launching new mobile apps, to inventing completely new technologies. So I do want to give, let me grab my clicker. Go. Okay, yeah, shout outs to our video sponsor, Michael Brunner. Where are you at, Michael? We'll see you floating around with the camera. He always does a great job with our video and photography. Shout out to our venue, which is the DEC, the Dallas Entrepreneur Center. I think we have Sarah and Rachel. Yeah, Rachel's over here, Sarah's here as well. So make sure you find them afterwards to get a tour if it's your first time here. It's a really awesome space to check out. There's a lot of startups and entrepreneurs that work from here. So yeah, if you're available to connect with them afterwards, please do that. And then yes, I want to bring up Madeline from DriveAds.com. She's going to talk a little bit about their company. They're a new startup based in Deep Ellum. And yeah, and also thank you to them again for the amazing coffee, which is Ceres. Did I say that right? Ceres Coffee. So yeah, check them out. And without further ado, Madeline, take it away. Let's get Madeline out.
Thank you very much, Sean. Well, guys, my name is Madeline, and I'm with DriveAds. We're happy to be here and very proud to be sponsoring for the next few weeks with y'all. We've got Ceres Coffee, which is a great, great story to get behind. Another great story to get behind is DriveAds. We place advertisement on the side of 18-wheelers and box trucks, providing measurement back to our clients. ROI is a huge deal, and we want to make sure that everyone is getting their most effective ad spend out there. We're an out-of-home media company, and we are happy to be on the road, and you can't miss us. Thank you all again very much.
Yeah, like we've said before, this event really doesn't happen without our sponsors and our team. Where are you guys at? There's our team, all of us volunteers. If you guys want to either stand up or raise your hand, yeah, there's our team. You'll see them helping out before and after. We're all volunteers that run this event. So that too, another plug, if you're ever interested in joining our team, come up, talk to us afterwards, let us know. We're always looking for more awesome people that want to do this. It's really fun. So with that, we'll move on to the next presenter, which is Cyril with Neu Robotics. Okay, you got it. Okay, let's stand up once again. Give Cyril a big round, and let's bring him up on stage.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for Raven and Chloe coming out here. Well, I present myself as Cyril, and I'm here with Neu Robotics, as you can see. And just to give you a quick rundown of what we do, I'm not here to pitch your product or anything. I'm here to tell you about a journey of what most startups go through. You know, what you see in the movies or Silicon Valley or an HBO show, typical kind of stuff. So this is kind of a little bit different. So this is more or less our problem, right? So as you can see here, ended up burning one of our drones. Just to give you a little bit of background. A couple of days later, moved into our office. Someone crashed into the front door and the storefront. So that's a problem with a typical startup, right? Well, this is our real problem. The problem is the existing market for construction is very limited by manual repetitive tasks, and our goal is to automate. By saying so, we have an autonomous drone that flies out there and goes out and surveys the sites using different cameras and different survey techniques. So as you see here, the average survey takes about 3 weeks and costs over $30,000 or more. And the main difference between the survey out there is that it takes time. You have to have a group of people that go out there and survey the sites. So it's very tedious and very mundane. So the solution, what do we have here? As I said, an autonomous drone that provides accurate, cheaper, affordable, user-friendly experience. Right now, the current drone industry is approximately estimated to be $100 billion by 2020. And this is very unique because the drone industry, let me give a quick background about how the drone industry came around. Back in 2016, a lot of people were using DIY drones and hobbyists and enthusiast drones. And what ended up happening was there was a convergence in the way people started using it. Like a lot of people like 3DR started pivoting from consumer drones to commercial drones. and you start seeing the emergence of people using drones for different stuff like construction, agriculture, public sector, even the police team, the SWAT team started using it for reconnaissance missions and so on and so forth. So this is estimated over time by Goldman Sachs, and it's going to be a $100 billion industry by 2020. So just imagine if we captured 1% of that industry. What is the potential that we can have, right? So that being said, targeting that specific area and that demographic, the commercial real estate industry in the drone industry is generated $500 million of revenue last year, and this was just over a 1 year time span due to the fact that the previous year was only about $300 million, and the drone industry just started, commercial drone industry just started to build up. So over time, it's gradually going to increase probably over time, and imagine the future of what potential drone industry might be out there. Our product, it's a supercomputer powered drone, and it's very unique in the sense that it has all these sensors and the supercomputer board, so it's able to provide these computers and these calculations on the fly without actually having to do it on cloud. So the unique part is that your average drone streams the data back to, let's say, China or the server or wherever it goes to, and there might be some breach of information. Everything's done locally on the drone and goes back to the system. So you have value added in terms of security and also downtime. So it's faster processing and better real-time analytics. Business model. So our business model is unique in the sense that your average, let's say, drone leasing platform doesn't do what we do. We call it drone as a service, and it's kind of like, I'm sure you guys have heard software as a service, platform as a service, yada, yada, yada. And the beauty of that is that you don't buy a drone, because when you buy a drone, you crash it, it's get replaced. There's multiple problems to it. We lease our drones to our clients. So what we do is monthly payment services, and if you crash your drone, if a new upgrade comes out, you just get replaced. And the beauty of that is that there's less downtime, it's hassle-free, because most people out there, like most businesses out there, the least thing we want to worry about is having people go say, hey, let's go buy another drone. It takes another 2 days to get it, set it up, configure it. You just want to have to plug and go. And that's what that model provides, that most drone services that provide. And lastly, funding. Traditionally, most people usually go to VCs, angels, pitch, and get funding through traditional methods, but we did things a little bit different because we're a startup. We like to flip this on the head because like being basic is boring. So what we did was we actually created something a little unique. We started mining Bitcoins and Ethereum. I'm sure how many of you guys have heard Ethereum, Bitcoin, and stuff like that? I'm sure you guys have. So instead of using getting funding from VCs and angels, we said we can construct this model by mining and using crypto as a service to generate funding for our company. So technically, I mean, you don't really need these VCs right now. I mean, if you're interested, sure, you can approach us. But at this current state in time, we're mining Bitcoin and Ethereum and using that to fund the company and grow and scale as we go along. So that's a really intriguing model, and that's where I try to appeal from as the journey side versus the product side in terms of like what innovative ways do you have to kind of keep alive and keep afloat in this industry. Just to give one example, Airbnb was selling cereal boxes when they first started, before they started actually getting into the business. So you got to do what you got to thrive and survive in this business, and if you're not great, you're gonna die out the next day. So, testimonial for one of our clients. This is Lap King. They're a big company out in South Texas, and what they do is they build motocross courses. And this is a random project. They reach out to us and said, "Hey, you know what? Can you map out our course in 3D?" So we went ahead and mapped it out, and more or less kind of like said, "Here's a 3D model for your site. You can watch virtual reality." So just showing it a little bit more exciting stuff in a different vertical that's not construction and real estate. As I said, thank you. Do you guys have any questions?
Thanks for giving the presentation. And the first thing that we ask from the community is, what can 1 Million Cups do for you?
I would say connect me with, if anyone has any connections regarding potential like businesses that do commercial real estate, I would say reserve one. I'll check our Twitter link or Instagram link and reserve one, and I think you guys will like the product. So.
Awesome, thanks. And for those who can't read the front board, their Twitter is Neu Robotics Inc. And we'll go ahead and open up the floor to questions.
So just to clarify, do you lease drones to people that use them for their own purposes, or do you actually do these projects like the mapping and things like that?
So yeah, it depends. Usually we tailor it to the customer's needs. So let's say you need a project that needs to be mapped, right? And you don't have a pilot, right, to map it, right? We can provide one of pilots, and that would be additional cost. But traditionally, you usually release it to a company or a person, and then they usually have a pilot. Usually we go to like channel partners, like existing construction companies like Clark Construction, or let's say Beck Construction, and so on and so forth, and provide them with the platforms, and they usually have pilots that we train to use it. But if you need a simple survey done, like let's say a building survey or a couple acre survey, we can definitely provide that at additional cost.
So you consider yourself to be more like a drone leasing service?
Yes.
Rather than we're in a survey company?
Exactly, yes.
Okay.
So my name's Chad. I do consulting, a bunch of stuff. We'll talk after. But I want to know, like, are you like a robotics geek on the side that worked in real estate? You decided to clash those worlds? Like, you seem like a brilliant guy. Tell us your story.
So yeah, I didn't delve much into that. Kind of delved more into the story of the journey. But so my background was I did robotics for a research lab, and did like robotic legs, robotic arms for like veterans and stuff like that, and amputees and so on and so forth. So I have a background in robotics, and it just happened that drones were my passion. So I combined the two and ended up crashing enough drones that I was able to figure this out. So it happened to work out. So
cool. Thanks for sharing. I have one follow-up too, and your question kind of redacted mine, but I still want to ask it. So what are the common advantages to traditional surveying that people might use sometimes to push back on the drone model?
I would say usually like, because they have most of these surveying companies have like big clients and big data and big clientele, so they have big accounts, and they have like account managers, client services guys who follow up with those accounts, and they have a better way of marketing and doing business development than we do. More or less, it's just a matter of time before the market consolidates and says, hey, you know what? It's a faster, cheaper way of doing it. Let's go this way, kind of thing. So.
Okay. So I had a survey done for my farm, and it costs like, I don't know, it wasn't $30,000, but so I had it done for my farm. They came out and the three main crew did their thing, and now it's a legally binding survey. So, you know, have you talked to whoever you would need to talk to, insurance companies, title companies especially, to find out, and or looked into it to find out what the legal ramifications are, and like how legally binding a drone survey can be versus a human done survey?
Yes, so in that context, that's really intriguing, and I would like to say that I would feel like, I mean, from what I know of, we tested our drone and matches the same standards as the U.S. Surveying Society. So technically, there are multiple surveyors, like, top of my head, there was one surveyor I worked with, and they more or less kind of use drones, and we compared our drone and benchmarked our drone with theirs, and theirs provided about 3 inches accuracy, ours did like accuracy to an inch. So it's legally binding in terms of if it's a drone, whether it's a human or not. So regarding that question in that retrospect, yeah, it is. And also, it's way better than a human would be, because a human would be off by a couple inches. This uses like pixels, so it's way more accurate than a human would be. So.
Hey, how's it going? My name is Rocky. I had a couple of questions. I think I missed it, but what is the cost difference between doing it the traditional way and this way? I heard $30,000 as well. How much more savings would it be to the customer to try it the automated way? My second question is, I know automated drones already exist in the delivery market, so how do you guys differentiate how do you guys protect what it is that you're doing so that it's not reproducible based on some of the other automated drones that exist?
Good question. First question addressing the cost. So the survey that costs $50,000 is a LiDAR that spins around, and that 3D LiDAR generates all these points and creates a 3D map in LiDAR. Ours is a little bit different, and that costs $50,000. Ours is a camera that uses 2 points like 8 or 9 to triangulate a depth and create multiple points across multiple planes. That's our technology, their technology, and our cost is $25,000 for a yearly lease. So we lease it for approximately $500 month-to-month lease, or an annual lease of $25,000. So for the cost of one survey, you're able to pay for a yearly lease. So for these companies who are then construction companies, surveyors, architects, they're better off leasing a drone for a whole year and know they can do as many surveys as they want, as many times as they want, versus having a one-off survey for a higher cost. Second question regarding the differentiation between our automated drone and delivery drones. Delivery drones is a traditional DJI Phantom, which gives you accuracy and so on and so forth, but it's not tailored and built the way we do. Just to give you more background, our drone is 3D printed from carbon fiber, so it's built from hardware to software end to end, all in the US. And the beauty of that is that we're able to custom tinker these settings and parameters to optimize and work better than your average drone. So that's the main difference between the two.
Hi, my name is Freddie. So this is a two-part question. So from the leasing side, are you looking at like consumers that already have like Part 107 certification? And then from the other side, who would be your competition? Because you have companies like Drone Deploy, stuff like that out there.
Yeah, so in regards to that, so people Part 107 are people we're looking for. So there's two approaches. So there's a company down in Austin called Hanger, and Hanger is a marketplace play for drones, so they connect pilots and people that need surveys. And we decided not to go with that model because it would soon become obsolete because you have ride-sharing platforms and eventually drone-sharing platforms that people are just going to say, hey, you know what, I need drones, come here, survey the site 2 minutes later. So regarding that, we kind of future-proofed our plan to see like Part 107 being extinct in the next 5 to 10 years because everything's going to be automated and you're just going to have a mission control center. So people at Part 107 will be beneficial in terms of like finding people to survey and as we're building out, right, for the current time. But in the future, we do not foresee that happening. So targeting companies who do not have Part 107 and training them to get a Part 107 to use it for that use case. And the second question, sorry, can you repeat the second one?
Just from a competition standpoint, because from surveys and things like that, Drone Deploy is a big company out there. There's a couple other ones like Matterport, they also get into that. A few other companies. So I just wonder how you sit in that competition.
Yeah. So Matterport is a great company, and Drone Deploy is basically platform agnostic. So they say, hey, BYOD, bring your own drone, and then you basically more or less survey, take the data, extract, upload to the cloud, right? Matterport, you take a camera and scan like internal environment. And the difference with theirs and ours is that Drone Deploy is more of a consumer play. So let's say people with Part 107 who want to survey, let's say for their own personal businesses, do that. Ours is more of an enterprise play, so B2B, so targeting specific like enterprise solutions. So hey, you know what? Let's say you want, surveys done, you want facial recognition, you want, let's say, object detection, you want, let's say, survey sites, people wearing hard hats or high-vis vests, we provide a complete solution. So kind of like added value on the side, versus Drone Deploy that says, hey, you know what, we're just going to do one thing, we're just going to survey side. So they're more specific to that, especially on the consumer side. And Matterport is more for internal experiences and internal environments, and creating experiences internally versus externally. And our Drone Deploy knows how the same thing they do, but Matterport is more focused on the real estate industry versus the commercial construction building.
I'm Daniel, I have a two-part question as well. So I'm assuming this is going kind of across the country.
Yeah.
And my question was, it may not have been anything, but how does it do in like different weather and climate conditions? Is there any limitations that it has with?
So it's waterproof. So that's one thing we did do. The motors work in water. Batteries don't work. It probably rain. Perfect rain is fine. Cold is fine. So actually, the funny intriguing part is the colder the air, the longer the drone flies because the air density is lighter. The hotter it is, the less it flies because the air density is more. So depending on Texas, it will fly less. So usually we put lowest flight time, which is about 20 minutes. So if it's cold in the weather right now, it'll fly for 30 minutes. So we've tested multiple conditions. It's built from carbon fiber. It's resistant to crashes over 400 feet. So you can drop in, it'll still survive, and you fly 5 minutes later. So it's built to withstand versus your average DJI drone where you crash it, you gotta go send it back to the company for repairs. And also, we haven't tested it in snow yet because we haven't had any snow yet. We haven't had a little bit. So that's part of it.
And then my second was just on, I guess, how you currently are like marketing it and how you all generate sales from it. If it's strictly online or more from a telephone, or if you're more from visiting like the sites.
So usually we realize that this commercial real estate industry, especially with drones, is usually relation-based. So it's more like kind of someone shows interest, likes a picture, and then you get a like on attraction, and you use some inbound marketing to generate a lead, and then build a relationship with them, talk to them, develop them over time as a client, and convert the lead over to sale. So it takes a longer time because they're usually big accounts than small accounts, where you say, hey, it's like, I want this, let's say, $1,000 drone, pay for it, and it's there. So it usually takes a longer time because it's a subscription service, and people like to sit down and think things through. So usually we use online services, so we can like Instagram, Facebook. LinkedIn is a very powerful tool for B2B. So usually going through those channels, but more or less networking. So going to different construction real estate events locally here in Dallas or Fort Worth or in the Metroplex, and reach out to them, give them cards, saying, hey, this one working on, or word of mouth. So usually it's more relation based than kind of social media.
Hi, my name is Sagar, and my question was, what's the costing involved with the manufacturing point of view, and what's your break-even for year?
So break-even, I can't disclose that. That's proprietary because it's one of our trade secrets. The reason, so we're able to produce a drone cheaper than you probably produce in China. And that's one of our innovative ways which we can't really disclose. But it's pretty substantial, I would say. And the reason why we're able to produce and manufacture cheaper than in China is because, so China, let's say you're producing a carbon fiber frame, right? So you go to China, let's say, and you produce it, let's say you send a design, fly over there, it's costing us X amount of dollars, plus you go over there and minimum quantity orders, let's say 10,000, right? 2 to 10,000, right? If they make one design flaw, you have to go back and remanufacture. That takes time, you lose money, so on and so forth. Well, with additive manufacturing, you're able to 3D print carbon fiber, Kevlar, all these different substrate polymers that you can do with your average, let's say, manufacturer in China, and you're able to produce it, let's say, in less than a day. So you're able to print a part in a day. So, and the cost is a little cheaper because the time it's going to cost you to shipping and everything, you actually save a couple, $3 or $4 on per part just from doing it in-house. So that's one of our innovative ways, which I can't disclose.
Hi, my name's Scott, and I just wanted to clarify and wondering if you could also expand upon, did you say that you acquired all of your startup capital through mining Bitcoin? And is that something that one can still do, or is it like gotten to the point now that, because I know that's advanced a lot?
So early stages we got some initial friends and family funding to get it off the ground, and then we got it going. And the RIA's Bitcoin was about $1,000 back in January last year. We started getting into a little bit Ethereum mining and some Bitcoin mining, and we had some of those, but we didn't really just mine it, held onto it. And as we ran our friends and family funding, we kind of converted all these into cash and kind of used that to fund it. And got to a point where now that we effectively figured a business model that like we don't need external funding. So basically, theoretically, you can generate, if you have enough Bitcoin machines or Ethereum machines, you can generate enough cash flow to meet your variable costs and fixed costs.
Was some of that from investing in Bitcoin when it was at that price?
It was more from mining than investing. So.
And we have time for one more question. Anyone? All right. Well, thank you so much for coming out.
Okay. Raise your hand if you learned something new today. Yeah, that was really cool to have really cutting edge tech presentations today from both of these startups. Again, you can follow up, keep in touch with them on social media, and stick around afterwards to network after the event. I do want to make a couple of announcements. Another plug for Dallas Startup Week. Save the date, April 2nd through the 6th. It's going to be huge, and it's going to be awesome. And an update on some of our past presenters. So you guys might remember the Dumpling Brothers. they have an update that they got funded by Next Seed. And if you want to learn more about how that happened, they're actually going to talk about it here on January 24th. There's a little event where they're going to share the story of how they raised that seed capital. So that's on January 24th here at the deck. The information is on the deck.co. And Donna from the Anger Room, you guys might remember her. It was the place where you could go and smash stuff. Yeah, so there was someone in the audience from Google, and Google's now doing a documentary about her and her startup. So props to Donna. So we love to hear these updates from our companies that are presented here at 1 Million Cups. If that's you, if you've presented here before, let us know what you're up to now. We'd love to kind of share with the audience where you guys are at afterwards. Yeah, what else can I say? We had a really awesome turnout this morning, so give yourselves a pat on the back. Thank you everybody for coming out. Once again, thank you to DriveAds for being our sponsor this morning, and to the deck for being our amazing venue. So I think that about wraps it up. Okay, that pretty much wraps it up. So thank you. Stick around afterwards. Free co-working in the back, and yeah, come hang out. All right, thank you guys.